Hey folks, it's me again. This is Kelly Holland Azzaro. She's, I think, Vice President of NAHA.
Public Relations.
PR this year. She's always on the board. She's busy with NAHA. But more important than that, Kelly is, in the U.S., the most knowledgeable source for information on animal aromatherapy. She teaches a course in animal aromatherapy and can tell you about it, or she can post a comment with her contact information. Yeah. But I know she's very conservative in her use, which I love and respect. And she uses a lot of hydrosols.
Right.
And I'll tell you a secret. Sometimes she uses mine.
That's right. Absolutely.
Why do you use hydrosols with animals, and which ones do you use?
Well, the reason why, like I talked yesterday about hydrosols and working with animals, is because the number one reason, they're gentler. It's much easier, and they're more user-friendly for people. So they don't have to get as much education, so they can feel empowered and start using something right away. And they can use them with so many animals, because there's always issues about what essential oils can we use with what animals. So here they can use hydrosols more easily, safer, help so many animals, even younger animals.
Birds.
Right. Even animals that are in hospice and have health issues, young animals, emotional work with animals that are going through traumatic situations. So it can be used very similar to essential oils, but at a much gentler, safer level. And we can use a lot of them, and even a lot of the herbal waters that we don't have essential oils made for.
Calendula.
Right. Yeah. That's the number one, the one that I spoke about yesterday for wound care.
I was here, not there.
Yeah.
I missed your talk.
That's one of the number one ones for wound care.
What other hydrosols do you find yourself using?
A lot with animals. Some of my favorites are the floral hydrosols, because
Why?
I love to work with emotional work. Emotional balancing with animals, especially those that have gone through trauma. So animals that are at rescue centers that need to be adopted, that maybe are not as adoptable because they have emotional issues, or they're hyper or acting fearful. People become empowered to work with the hydrosols to help get these animals adopted.
What would you use for an animal that's been traumatized?
Some of my favorite hydrosols are geranium, ylang ylang. That's really good to help with increased confidence. Blood orange is really good with that.
I love that.
Right, and then if an animal is pacing a lot and crying and insecure, maybe a little bit of lavender or Roman chamomile.
What about neroli?
That's my favorite.
It's good
I was
for
saving
anxiety.
that one for the end. That is my absolutely favorite hydrosol is neroli, and I was talking about that with somebody earlier, and how that helps with separation anxiety and bringing a new animal into the home. If they're not sure, you can use the neroli hydrosol and work with just a little scent strip. Encourage them that way. Also with travel sickness.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't have thought of that.
Yeah, a lot of people. That's one of their number one questions when they're going to the vet, and their dog gets nauseated in the car. Maybe it's from fear, but maybe it's also an inner ear issue. But the neroli is great with that.
Laura, please. We're doing a Facebook Live. That was Laura Cantelli from the IJPHA, and as soon as we're done, I'm going to introduce her to you.
She's got us all lined up to talk.
What would you use for nausea besides, you mentioned the neroli?
Right.
Else?
The chamomile is actually really good for that. A lot of people don't think about chamomile for that. So,
Roman or German?
I like both, but Roman better, because
it's more relaxing.
Right, and the German is a little bit more medicinal smell. That's really good for antibacterial, like abscess, hot spots, things like that. Right. Also good for the nausea is peppermint, but we need to just make sure that we dilute that a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, but the orange, the blood orange.
I would not have
Yeah.
thought of that.
Yeah.
I love that. We may be out of stock.
Right.
I have to look.
That's a good one for nausea and helping to build confidence levels.
It's for anxiety.
It's just amazing, and that one I use a lot with my dog with when it's around 4th of July. 4th of July
for the fireworks.
and the
Yep,
noises
yep.
and all of that. We use like the citrus oils for calming. I mean, not the oils, the hydrosols for calming. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, my dogs don't like to be spritzed directly.
Right,
I
right.
spray my hand and
Right,
wipe them down.
right. You could-
What about putting a few drops in the water dish?
You could, depending on what's going on with them internally. Like if you were working herbology based, you can use some of the herbal hydrosols and work with it that way. But what I really like are
Scent strips.
So easy to use. I mean, so
With a
effective.
hydrosol.
Right.
I never would have thought of
Yes,
that.
and
I
if-
use them with the oils all the time to blend.
Right.
I-
And if the dog is afraid of the spritzer sound, you can take the lid off
hold
and just
it.
dip it in. Right.
And then
Or spray-
hold it out
Hold
to
it
them.
out and let them come in and take in the scent and see if they like that. And I was just talking to a woman before whose dog is going blind, and she wanted to know about working with a scent to help the dog know areas not to walk, like down the stairs. So we're going to try working with the hydrosols on scent strips and placing them before the stairs and areas like that, so that the dog is alerted to the smell and knows here the stairs are like this
There's
far away.
something there.
Right.
I never would have thought of that.
And I use the scent strip a lot with the I work with a lot of feral cats, so I just take these like outside and leave them around for them to help get them more socialized and be interested in what they're smelling.
That's amazing.
I am. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you do any work with birds?
I do sometimes, more so with farm animals like chicken and guinea fowl, and like a lot of skin issues when they're pecking or bacterial mites, like little sores, things like that.
Yeah.
When they get mites or scabies and things like that.
Yeah.
And
What would you use for the parasites?
Yeah, the
External parasites. What would you
what's
use?
really good is geranium. The rose geranium is really good for that one. So yeah.
Well, that's what the whole dog journal recommends for tick repellents.
Exactly.
Rose,
And
rose
fleas.
water,
And fleas.
rose geranium, palmarosa.
Yeah, especially the rose geranium for fleas. It's amazing when you said you spray it and you can't even rub it through their coat. I mean, you may have to do it more often, but at least it's not going to be harmful to these pesticides, right? So, and at the same time, it's not too invasive to the dog's sense of smell, but you could also dilute it. You can dilute your hydrosols. You don't have to use them full strength.
Thank you.
Thank
Is
you.
there anything you'd like to tell our audience before I click the finish? Lori Snodgrass Mitchell is watching. Hey, Lori.
Hi.
Lori assists
me in the animal. I have a Facebook group, Animal Aromatherapy Safe Use. Anybody's
Thank
welcome
you.
to join that.
Yes.
And Lori is great. She helps me out in there. There she is. Hey, Lori. And she really wanted to be here, but she'll be here for 2020 at the NAHA conference.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So, but that's my passion, working with animals and empowering other people, because my goal is that if you can get one animal, adopt it and get it a name and a home by using aromatherapy, Bach flowers, homeopathy, how wonderful would that be?
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you, love.